25 before the hour. Now, I have a person here who claims to be Mark Taylor-Canfield. Hey, Mark!
No, it's me.
Oh, it is you. Okay.
I just have to get off my speakerphone. No, I was just in the chat room talking about how Tom Hartman had said on his program today that you're one of his heroes. I thought that was a pretty good compliment.
Really? Well, he must have been too far into the, the sugared Cheerios or something. I don't know.
Well,
that's nice that he said that, but
yeah. It was a very thoughtful program today on Tom's show. So he was thinking kind of deep, and people brought up the lack of progressive voices in the media, and he was just saying, "Well, hey, Mike Malloy is still there." So
see, I can't be thoughtful. I can't do thoughtful topics. That's why I'm glad Hartman is on, is on the air and kicking ass and taking names, because he can do those kinds of topics and subjects, and Hartman can actually take phone calls from real idiots and just twist them into pretzel-like shapes. Whereas when I get an idiot on the phone, a right-winger, which is very seldom anymore, they have tended to stay away. I just scream and shout and tell them I'm going to murder their mothers or something, and it makes them flee.
Well, we all have our own style, that's for sure.
That's very true, isn't it? But anyway, what you really called about is the anti-corruption movement in India.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of other things that we could talk about, because I'm always reporting news stories at Free Speech Radio.
Yeah.
Like there's the state's publicly funded bank initiative headed up by Representative Bob Hasagawa, and he, by the way, would be an excellent guest. So I'm not sure if you've talked to him before, but
probably not. I very, very seldom do guests, Mark. I think the most frequent guest on this program is probably you.
I would recommend Bob only because he's not your normal political person. He was actually a labor leader and an activist.
Oh, yeah?
So he has a very open-minded attitude about politics, and I think he's got a good idea, which is what North Dakota has had for many years, which is a publicly funded state bank.
Oh, yeah, right.
Investment in your community. So
and all those people in Montana who always vote right-wing, why do they not accept the fact that they have right in their midst such a thing as this state-owned bank? They are dealing daily, if they're in business or whatever, with a socialist form of banking that I've been advocating for years.
Well, the idea, I guess, is it would keep the money off of Wall Street, so that avoids the ups and downs of the crazy stock market and getting involved with those bailouts. And in Seattle, the city council actually voted unanimously to look into divesting the city's money from Wells Fargo, Bank of America, all these big banks. But unfortunately, without a state bank, there aren't enough small community and credit union banks to hold all of that money, because we're talking millions and millions. So that is actually why we need a state publicly funded bank, because otherwise the small community banks just can't handle all that money.
Well, I'm all in favor of that. We do not do business with banks. We do business with our credit union that both Kathy and I have been with for literally decades before we ever met. Turned out we were doing business with the same credit union in the Atlanta area. And we have to do business with a bank for the business account, because credit unions, at least ours, they don't do business accounts. And I hate it, because the one we have to deal with is Chase.
Well, to tell you the truth, Mike, I became famous or infamous, whichever way you want to look at it, for burning my Bank of America card during a protest in Seattle. That photograph by photojournalist Ted Warner went viral, and I ended up on the cover of the Washington Post and CBS News and all over the place. So I am definitely an advocate
for
of that.
Burning your Bank of the old Visa card.
Yeah,
it used to be called Bank of America card, right?
Right, and I invoked, the protests in Vietnam where people were burning their draft cards. So I was saying, well, let's just burn our cards. I started doing it, and the next thing I know, by the time we were done, dozens and dozens of people had burned their cards, or they'd cut them up with scissors, and then that sort of spread around the country. So I think on that one day in February of last year, on Bank Divestment Day. Millions were divested from the large banks and put into small corporate banks or small community banks. And that's when Bank of America was getting in big trouble for charging their $5 a month fee just to have an ATM
Oh, yeah,
card.
I remember that. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't all that long ago, was it?
No, that was just last year, and they had to back off that, by the way. They weren't able to do that. And I actually got a settlement from them, a small settlement, but because of their overdraft procedures. And I also may have a scoop for your program. Actually, it looks like there's been a lawsuit that's been filed against Facebook, and it looks like I'm going to qualify as a plaintiff because they've allegedly been posting people's photos and posts and using them in their advertising without permission of the authors. Well, I just found out the other day it's a major class action lawsuit against Facebook. So there you go. Another corporation that is, sort of running our lives behind the scenes that we don't even realize it. But, yeah, I wanted to ask you if you've heard of Anna Hazare. It's a really amazing story.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Of course I have.
You're one of the few. It doesn't seem like it's being reported in the United States at all. But that is an amazing movement. He's basically a Gandhian-style activist who goes on hunger strikes and inspires hundreds of thousands of people. And they have been able to force the government to investigate some top-level officials there. And they're always fighting the corporate and banking scandals in India. So that's a really good model for people to look at. I know Americans are pretty apathetic when it comes to politics and don't seem to be able to get away from the Democrats or Republicans at all. But, I say Elizabeth Warren for president because, man, after listening to what she had to say today, it's amazing what happens when someone actually stands up and asks the real questions. What I'm referring to.
The regrettable fact is that barring some divine intervention, probably the next president of the United States is going to be Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Well, I have thoughts of kind of flashbacks to the campaign in the primaries against Clinton and Obama, just how nasty that was. I was in the trenches on that, and I got bashed several times for my support of Obama from people on the Hillary Clinton side.
Oh yeah, no, I went through the same thing. Trust me. Mark Taylor-Canfield with Occupy Seattle. Let me move on, Mark. There's somebody else. I want to try to get another call in before we have a break here. Okay.
Well, I'm glad that we got to talk about something besides UFOs. That was great. I'll talk to you soon.
Right. Okay. Thanks, right. Mark. Take care. Yeah, Kathy's glad too. Pterodactyl from an undisclosed location, probably somewhere in the Northeast. Hey, Tara.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Oh, my God, you are in an undisclosed location. Sounds like a barrel.
Oh, really? Wait, let me take off my...
there you go.
Is that better?
No, but that's
okay. A little
okay.
better? No, it's not. Okay.
No,
I hope you can hear me.
That's fine. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm just calling because, I thought there was a full moon, but, I guess it was just the asteroid.
It was just the asteroid, yeah, all kinds of weird stuff. Anytime we have an asteroid crash into the Earth, all kinds of weird stuff can happen, Dinosaurs go extinct, it's just stuff.
Right, and, I was talking to Kathy, and I was thinking, no wonder this country is, everybody's nuts in this country, because look at where we're living. You saw that Mark Rubio response, the Republican response.
I didn't watch it. What I saw was some snippets. I saw when he reached over for the bottle of Poland Spring.
Oh, my God. It was like amateur hour.
What a little dork. It
was unbelievable.
God, you go from the cover of Time to that?
Right, the Republican savior, and he's just their latest Johnny Bravo. He fits the suit.
Right.
And now he's going to go out there and peddle the same old snake oil.
Okay? Yeah,
and that's really what it is. He's their latest salesman. But the speech that he gave, it was it's crazy making, because he's talking about how he wants to protect Medicare and Social Security. He went to school on government loans in one breath. And then in the next breath, he's talking about how government isn't going to help you get ahead.
Right.
It's going to hold you back.
Right. Except for his family.
Right. Exactly. And it's like, this is why I'm like, how, of course, this country is in a state of perpetual stress, because this is what we're dealing with. This is the, the opposition party. They lack the maturity to function in a free democratic society. They really do. Like like you were talking about torture before, that is, I mean, well, Obama is torturing as well, but it takes, I mean, I don't know if he's actually torturing, but he's this rendition and killing people extra, without judicial oversight.
Well, assassinating people from a drone is not as bad as torturing them, I guess.
Right, I guess.
I don't know anymore,
right.
Tara.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, this is why everybody's nuts in this country. This is what I think. I mean, I feel it all the time. I wish I could be one of those people that could just like look at UFOs, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, let me untake this red pill, like, let me really, and I'll just watch, Big Ange marathon or something. You know what I mean?
If that were possible. Tara, here comes the commercials. I gotta go.
All right,
dear heart, take it easy.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, stay in touch. We'll be right back.